What up, my poker peeps, and welcome back to Hatter Chatter. This is going to be episode 10. Is online poker rigged? Yes, to a certain extent. And we're going to go into a deep dive of that, and I'm going to explain to you things that I know firsthand and just my opinions overall about online poker. I know a lot of what I say might rub people wrong, but at the end of the day, it's my opinion, and this podcast is going to start changing a little bit. I believe that I'm all about positive vibes and stuff, so I've maybe went too far away from touching on some of the negative things, so I didn't even want to bring up negativity. So, but this time, I think it's time that the podcast starts to change a little bit, and I know a lot of people want me to interview people, and that's coming. Like I said, there's going to be big changes. As you can see, I'm not just sitting at a desk. Once again, I've been busy. I'm shooting this sitting in my truck, but it's me, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm just this average Joe, and I've been living this poker journey, and it's been good and bad, and usually I try not to talk about the bad, but we'll touch a little bit on that. One other thing I do want to say, last week I accidentally uploaded the wrong file, so you got the unedited one instead of the edited one. That's why you didn't see the big board. At the end of this episode, I will have the big board posted so you can see it and kind of get you updated where I am on all my goals. So, last week I didn't play this past week I didn't play a live session. I had 2 doctor's appointments that I had to go to, Monday and Wednesday. And then Friday and Saturday was golf and just being with my friends and trying to spend some time with them, which was much needed. This coming up week is a big week. We're back on the Jack's Best Bet live stream Saturday at 4 p.m. I hope y'all tune in. I hope y'all show me and the other players love in the commentary, and just be there to support us. I'm gonna try to play the best I can and put on a show. Maybe not the 75 VPIP I did last time, but who knows? We'll see how it goes. And then Wednesday we're doing the weather permitting. We got a ton of rain here in Florida yesterday, so everything's pretty saturated, and where my local golf course, it gets soaking wet pretty good. So hopefully it'll be clear up, and by Wednesday we can have our scramble team versus the club pro, and we'll do that Wednesday. I think that's going to take a lot of editing. I actually spent most of today editing, and I got part 3 of vlog 14 out. And I'm going to get the final part out this week also. I have drugged my feet so bad, I apologize. I need to start pumping these out. Pretty much my plan, I think, is every time I play on a live stream, I'm going to have like a vlog of it. Of course, I can't film at the tables, but I get the footage from the live stream that I can use. And I want to do a little bit better job of vlogging the day of and some of the events. So there's that. Like I said, the golf one, it's going to take a lot of editing, so it might be a week or 2 before I get that out. I'm putting a lot of work into that because the golf course has been really cool with me, and I believe that I want to build a long-term relationship with them. So there's going to be many parts, and I have a lot of ideas for not only that day, but also the charity golf tournament coming up. But let's go ahead, since I touched on all that, let's go ahead and jump into what this is really about. And we're going to talk about online poker. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like I said, straight up disclaimer, if this rubs people wrong, it is what it is. A lot of this is from my personal experiences, from some research I've done, and just overall, like I said, my experiences. I ain't gonna mention no names or anything like that because I don't want to get caught up in no lawsuits or anything like that for the most part. So I will say this before we jump in. I believe everybody believes that the RNG, random number generator, pretty much how the cards come out, everybody believes that this is how online poker is rigged. I don't believe so. This theory of it being juice for action, and I know a lot of people believe that online is juice for action. I don't really believe that. I believe there's a lot of things that goes into why people think that. I've played a lot of low stakes, and when I say low stakes, 1-2, 1-3, quarter 50 cent, home games. And one thing you need to understand, and especially online a lot, you're not dealing with people that are playing GTO. So people are playing all kinds of cards. They tilt really easy, and a lot of pots are multi-way. And no matter how good your starting hand is, whether you have aces or whatever you want, if you start going multi-way with 4 or 5 hands in every pot, you're going to see some crazy runouts. People are going to have 2 pairs. People are going to have sets. People are going to hit straights and flushes. And what you don't understand is the only hands you're really seeing and knowing the cards is the ones that go to showdown. And for the most part, online, when people are going to showdown post-flop, usually they got something or a big draw or something. It just is what it is. I do not believe that it's juiced for action. I don't believe that's how, in my opinion, when I started this, I said online to a certain extent is rigged. I don't believe that any of these people are, any of the apps, any of the sites, I don't believe that they're juicing it for action to get more rake. I don't believe that. I've seen too many crazy hands playing live. It just is part of poker. I've been online and played hours and never made a hand, and then other days I've got on there for 30 minutes and been coolered 17 times, it feels like. So I understand why the average person might believe this, but I don't believe that. Like I said, it's going to be controversial. I know a lot of people do believe that. They believe that they're juicing it for action so they can get more rake, and that's how they do it. I don't believe that. Now, it don't matter. You can go on Google. Everything I'm about to say is easily researched. You can solve for why with the Matt Berkey boys. They've talked about a lot of the big things that have happened. ACR, they had a bots issue. Now Ignition, they had a thing where pretty much what they're doing is they believe that they were running like a bot software AI real-time assistant thing, and they were auto-folding big hands because the system needed to like crash or needed to be rebooted or anything. There was the big thing on Global Poker. People know I play on Ignition. People know I play on Global Poker. Global Poker had the thing where they were using the GTO wizard tool to get real-time assistance, and the guy won quite a bit playing bigger stakes. These are pretty much things that most of these poker sites have come out and admitted to, or there's a lot of evidence of. Sadly, it seems like it takes the player pool to come together for them to really start to look in and research this stuff. Why is that? That's a good question. I believe that at the end of the day, whether it's an app or it's an online site, it's a business. And if their business is making money, sometimes a business will kind of turn a blind eye for a while if business is good. I believe we'd all agree upon that. Now, I told y'all I believe it is rigged to a certain extent. And when I say it's rigged to a certain extent, because it can be rigged against you as a average person. And this is how. And these are things that, what I'm about to say is things that I know of. And this is not directed towards any site, because I believe that any site you go on to, any app you play on, can be legit. I really do believe that. You could end up at a table with myself and 5 other real people, and you're at a legit game. There's nothing shady going on any of these sites. It's possible. Do I believe some sites are regulated better than others? Most probably they are. Do I know which one? No, because I'm a recreational player. The things I'm going to tell you is what I do know. So if I know that they're happening in certain things, then my mind says that that's probably what's really going on in a lot of places. So during COVID, everybody knows all the apps became big. I ain't going to go into all of them. Y'all know what they are. And the problem with this, and the problem that you're going to run into, and why I say it can be rigged to a certain extent, is there's a lot of ways. First, let's go into real-time assistant. GTO Wizard has a tool. I mean, all you gotta do, if you got Facebook, you got ChatGPT, go on there and ask something. It'll give you an answer right away. The power of artificial intelligence now is unreal. So Google, let's just say you Googled something like poker bot AI. I guarantee you something will pop up where they have a program where you can pretty much run bots on any site, most probably. Would the site's security catch it? I would hope so, but I'm not sure. I do know from some things I've played on, I have seen this program being ran. Now you'll say, Hatter, how do you know it was ran? Because as a content creator over the last 2 years, yes, I've been approached. At one time I was streaming and I saw some stuff go on. I left. And by no means am I getting on here and bashing any streamer or anyone like that. And I don't want, like, I'm not saying streamers are bad. I'm not saying nothing like that. So I don't want it to get it twisted, because I think most of them, for the most part, now, is there some hustlers out there? You dang right. I run into them all the time. There's a bunch of hustlers, but there's a lot of people like me that love the game, and we'd like to get on there and stream and show it to you. But if you have a lot of people, I mean, it's hard, because if you're a streamer and you have a big company come to you and like, hey, we want you to stream for us, and they're telling you we got the security, and they're like telling you all the right things, you want to believe in them. You want to get on there. You want to show, your ability to play. You want to, when you get on there, like when I was streaming back on, because I streamed on TikTok for a little bit. I'm going to be honest with you. I streamed on TikTok for a place, and like I enjoyed it. They gave me a monetary value for streaming. They did, yes. The reason I quit is because they started to treat people bad, and there was a lot of shady stuff going on. And let's go into that. How can you get cheated? See, a lot of people think, oh, they're seeing your cards. It's not like that, I don't think. Could they? Possibly. But the things that I do know that have went on is, I'm not a PLO player, but I know that there was PLO games being ran where, let's say it's PLO 5, it could be PLO 4, 5, or 6. And if there's 3 or 4 people that are playing, and they could be scattered, let's just say all over the country, but they know each other, and they're in a video chat with each other or a Zoom call, they know half the deck, and they're playing against 2 or 3 people that they could be the best players ever, but if they know half the deck and you don't, you're playing against 4 or 5 people, 3 or 4 people. That's where it's rigged, y'all. That's collusion. That's so bad. And then you'll have people where they'll run these bot systems, and pretty much how the bot systems work, from what, and I'm just going by what I've done research on, people approaching me who thought that they could use me being a content creator to get into a certain situation, is pretty much bots will sit down, an AI bot, and they'll sit like 3 or 4 at a table. They're playing not against each other. They're pretty much analyzing all the players' plays, and then they're formulating a strategy. This is how bots work. Did I know about this? No, I didn't know about this. I was so naive to this 4 or 5 years ago. Did I believe that online was juice for action and rigged? Of course, it's in everybody's mind. I mean, we don't believe anything. Shoot, I don't believe half the stuff the government tells me, more or less anything else. But I mean, it's rough, because, and that's why I want to talk about this stuff, because for me and for a lot of people, poker rooms ain't just right around the corner. For like, mine's, an hour away, but for a lot of people, the local casino that has a poker room could be 4 or 5 hours away. So online is the only thing out there. And I don't believe that people understand like how much they're destroying online poker. I mean, you go watch any podcast, poker podcast, they're all saying what I'm saying right now, but you're killing it, because sooner or later people are going to really believe, hey, I'm getting cheated. Why should I just give my money away and get cheated? Which, to a certain extent, if you go to the wrong place, you can get cheated. But like I said, is there other places you can go? Yeah, but you need to know who you're playing with. And that's very hard these days. It's super hard. Because it's hard. Like, let's say there was 20 of us in Nevada, and you got WSOP. And every Sunday night we said, hey, us 20 are going to start on 2 tables, and we're just going to play, or we're going to all get in a sit and go together. That's pretty protected. You know these people. You hope they ain't cheating. You hope they ain't running real-time assistance or anything. That's about the only way that you can really, truly know that you're not being cheated in online poker. Sadly. I mean, that's just the thing is, because everybody that's running the games, and do I know some people that run, it ain't no different if it's a home game. I mean, live poker, you can get cheated at live poker too. I mean, it's just part of it. And unfortunately in poker, and anything to do with gambling or anything, you gotta trust people. Like the person that is behind it, that's regulating it, that's running it, that's the person you have to trust. And that is so hard to find. And I don't have the answers, to be honest with you. I really don't. I wish I did. I wish there was a super secured online place to play for everybody, because for a recreational player like myself and other recreational players, and most of the people I meet are recreational players, I'm not hanging out with 20, wizard pros that are crushing, 2-5 online and stuff and higher, or 10-20 online and all that. So for us, and players coming in behind me that are recreational players, if you get caught up in these things where people are pretty much scamming you by either, like I said, there's multiple people in Zoom calls playing against true rec players or true beginners, they're just going to get all their chips, their money, whatever you want to call it. And same thing, I mean, it could just as happen at a home game. Like I said, I'm not trying to bash online. And I mean, you'll see the stats at the end. Yeah, at low stakes, I'm still winning. Is there probably a bot or two at the tables that I play at on Ignition and Global? Unfortunately, yeah. If I sat down and I'm playing against 4 bots and I play them for, 100 hours online, am I going to be able to beat them in the rake? No, I'm probably not. And there's a lot of people on here that I talk to and I try to tell them this, and they're like, I don't care if there's a bot, I can beat them. Long term, it's going to be really hard because they're doing everything mathematically correct. And now with the AI, they start to figure out what you're doing, your tendencies and everything. Like, it's rough. So is it juice for action? I don't believe so. Can you get into a legit online game? Yes. Can you do it at any site? Yes. Can you do it on any app? Yes. Can you get cheated on all of them? Yes, I do believe so. Unfortunately, I do. But that's the nature of anything gambling. Money is the root of all evil, and there's always going to be bad people out there trying to scam. Doesn't matter really if it's poker or anything. Since I became a content creator, I have been approached in so many different ways from being scammed. People, they do the weirdest stuff. Like at first, like being just a simple country boy, like it took me a while to like quit being naive and believe in some of these people that would come to me. And now like I'm so skittish about it that if someone legit comes to me, it's really hard for me to even give them a chance. I was talking to a content creator friend of mine, and I was talking about how I wish I would have started collaborating with other content creators sooner. I believe that's a great way for me to build my YouTube. I believe that's a great way for me to get out there and be seen. The problem with that was early on, I got tied up with some people and it was bad. And it left a bad taste in my mouth. And from there, I became almost scared to even try to reach out and build relationships with people that wasn't like in my core group. So it stunted my growth a lot, I believe. That's just being real with y'all. Now that I'm trying to like do all this stuff with Jack's Best Bet live stream, and I was talking to him because he's one of the people coming on April 13th, and I was telling him like, I'm so worried about bringing the wrong person on there and then find out that they're up to no good, or they're there just trying to, get over on someone. It's so hard because I know a lot of people don't care. They don't, long as they're getting something out of it, that's all they care about. But to me, man, it's bigger to me. I've talked a little bit about my life. I ain't trying to bring no bad to nobody. I'm just trying to bring positivity. I feel like the situation that I allowed myself to get into a couple years ago led to some people being hurt, and it bothers me. Even now, it bothers me. None of them hold it against me, which is cool. But I mean, in a way, it was a blessing because I met people. But in another way, I felt like when I started to learn things that a lot of people got dealt wrong. There was a lot of collusion and cheating going on. So. And I wonder if a lot of other like streamers and content creators and all of them, when they were starting out, and do they feel like I feel, or do they just like move on with their day and they're like, no, I'm just gonna believe that it's good and everybody's making their own choice, so bump it. I just don't know. But that's sort of my feeling on online. I'm still going to try to get to my 1K. I'm actually going to go play some global here in a few minutes, I think, with some friends. But I don't know, y'all. It's very discouraging because, like I said, online is a way for you to play with your friends from across the country. It's a lot of the only option. There's a lot of new people coming into I believe poker's in its second boom. I've said that before because of the vloggers, and there's a lot of live streams all over the country. Jack's Best Bet, Hustler, The Lodge, The Reserve. I mean, there's all these places streaming now. Like, poker's in a big boom, and unfortunately for a lot of people that don't have a poker room, online's the only option. And if they run into the wrong set of people, they could go bad, and then they'll quit playing the game, and that's how the game's going to die. I love poker, but I'm a little old school. I mean, I'm an old soul anyways. Anyone that meets me would probably say that, I think. Maybe I was supposed to have been born a long, long time ago, and I could just be sitting in a saloon, and I know if someone got cheated, they'd just shoot them. Maybe that'd be better. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't have said that because I'll probably get my video in trouble for that. But anyways, I guess that'll sum up my little rant on online. Take it for what it's worth. It's what I know. It's what I've experienced. Like I said, I'm not saying don't play online. I believe if you really research, I think you can find a good option, but protect yourself. Things to look out for. Last thing I'll say, things to look out for. If you are playing anywhere and you can see a waiting list, and you sit down and then there's a huge waiting list, there's probably something up. If you bust and you watch the table and everybody leaves after you bust or another recreational player leaves, that's probably a huge sign. That's not happening by accident. If you're sitting at a table and you see that certain players never play against each other, it's a red flag, y'all. I'm just being real. If you don't want to believe it, don't believe it. But I'm telling you, open your eyes, be smart to it, don't get cheated. It's not worth it. If you're someone that's stubborn, thinks you can beat it, God bless you, but try to find a game on the up and up. I believe they're out there. You just got to hunt for them and find them. But don't go somewhere and let online destroy your love for the game of poker. That's the big thing I want this to be about. I don't want to see the poker community lose new and people that love this game as much as I do because of bad people. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and shoot to the big board here in a second. I'll see y'all next week. It'll be after the live stream, and hopefully we'll get to talk a lot about it. I hope y'all have a blessed week, and thank you again for tuning in to the Hatter Chatter podcast show, whatever this is going to be. Like I said, there's going to be changes. I'm going to come from a couple different locations. I felt like a little bit that I started to get to the point where I felt like I had to fit into the box of it being a podcast, and that's just not who I am. Will I be doing it at my little set that I made at my house? Yeah, they'll be coming from there some. I think the audio is actually better when I was in the truck, especially when I listened to it on Spotify the other day. I like the audio better in here, but I'm going to shoot some from the poker rooms, and definitely when I start to travel and stuff, you'll see it from a couple different locations. But mainly, I just want to get on here, and I want it to be real. Whether you like it or not, I am who I am. I can't keep on trying to make everybody happy and be a people pleaser. There's a lot of things I want to do, and I feel like I'm just, I don't know. I just need to let it go and quit worrying about what I think other people think and all that, and just be me. And I think the people that want to see it will see it, and the people that won't. But it's all good. It's part of this journey. And I know that there's a lot of people that really like to watch me and enjoy me, and I really appreciate them. So let's get to the big board, and I'll see y'all next week.